Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey,
Welcome
girl.
to B to the Third Power. Hey, Sherri.
Hey, girl. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's happening in your world tonight?
Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I won't complain.
Well, let's go on to catch up then. Listen, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of B to the Third Power, where we are being intentional, bridging gaps, and building community. And while we get ready to catch up, you know what to do. Go ahead, make sure that you like and share, because baby, we have some exciting guests with us tonight, and we know they are laying down some wisdom and some good information, and we don't want you to miss it. Not to mention, there's somebody out there that needs to hear what's going on, and the only way they're going to get it is how, Sherri?
If they share it.
There you go. Sherri and I don't know them, but you do. And if you make sure you share, I promise you this information is going to get to someone that really needs it, and it's going to bless their life tonight. So while you're sharing, Sherri, how was your week, baby?
Well, my week was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I attended Amazing Women's Conference on Saturday. And let me tell you, I'm really getting used to this virtual thing, but I don't want to get used to this virtual thing. But it was really awesome. Yeah. It was really, really awesome. We had an amazing time. And I'm looking forward to attending another one. I need that connection. You know what I mean? I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it so much.
I said that the other day. I was like, man, I can't wait to get out and go somewhere. Like, just to get out, to be able to connect. And I know people are like, you can go somewhere now. I know, but I'm not going to go sit down in nobody's restaurant right now. It's just certain things that Lynn just ain't going to do. And so I can't wait till I can safely get out and mingle with some people, give a couple people a hug. You know what I mean? Give some hugs out. I miss it when I see Sherri. We be like, hey, girl. We give each other the nice little hug like we missed each other. Here, I'm giving you a hug now because I miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. But that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I had a pretty nice weekend. So, I won't complain. But what did you get into last week?
I don't remember. I know what I'm going to get into.
Self-care. I remember you did some self-care.
Yes, I did that. Yes. So that's why I don't remember what I did, because I took some downtime. It was driving me bananas. Right. It drove me bananas. And then I was reading, listening.
I went to see my daughter.
You're terrible. Hey, Britt. She terrible.
Terrible.
But what was I going to say? Yes, I did some self-care, which was much needed. It was driving me crazy because I felt like I should be up and doing something. That's a whole nother conversation we're going to have with our viewers at some point, because I do so much that when I don't have anything to do, I feel it drives me bananas because I feel like I should be doing something. Then I read a book that was telling me about myself, and I was like, are you talking about me? Who told you to come talk about me? And so, I did that. So I did an audio visit. Yeah, I did. Right. In my face. So I did an audio book for some self-development while I was practicing self-care. And although this hasn't happened yet, I'm super excited. As you guys that have been following us know, I was selected as one of the Think Network Global Female Empowerment Ambassadors. That's super exciting. The website launched. It is a membership website, but I promise you, if you become a member, you're going to have access to some great content, some great webinars, great articles. So that's one thing I did last week. My articles were published. I have 3 articles that were published on the Think Network website, and I'll be participating. Look, I'll be on the other side of the chair because usually we're here and we're interviewing people. Well, I'll be a part of the discussion where they'll be interviewing me, and we'll be having a session and speaking and talking about my articles and the topics and stuff. So that's going to be pretty amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
so that's going to be this week. But again, if you want to do that, you have to become a member of the Think Network website. It's thinknetwork.com.
Okay.
And it's some great, great, great female ambassadors there. And so if you want to see what I'm up to there, you can just go to thinknetwork.com. Yes, I'm promoting it because it's part of
Yeah,
what I'm doing, right?
that's right.
And so if you want to see
Yeah,
some of the exclusive work that T Lynn is doing, going over there for some encouragement.
that's
So
right.
I'm pretty excited, you know.
I'm looking
But
forward to it as well.
yeah, so that's the sum of what T Lynn has been doing this past week. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
So proud of you.
we had oh, thank you. Thank you. Listen, I always say I'm proud of you because you've been doing the work. Listen, Sherri will tell you she's a motivator, but sometimes the motivator has to be motivated too because she's so
Yeah.
busy motivating others that
Yeah.
she doesn't always hasn't past tense
Right.
hasn't always gotten done what she wanted to do, but she didn't tell it. But I'm always bragging about her, right, y'all? So I'm gonna tell you what she's been up to. She's almost finished with her book, y'all. Yeah, I
Yes.
told them because they need to expect it. So she did some work. Why you ain't tell them? You didn't tell them about going to see Brit, loving up on her this weekend. You ain't
Yeah.
tell them about you finishing your book. Just about, come on, what you doing?
You know, I hate talking about me, but but yeah, I did go see my baby in North Carolina last week. It was awesome. You know, I love being down there with her and just to get away, you know, see a different scene and just hanging out with her. Of course, she had to work, I had to work, but it was fun seeing her beautiful smile and I miss her
Yeah,
so much. But and then yes, I have been working on this book. I am determined to get this book out, the self-help journal, and it's got to happen. It's been sitting on me for like 9 years, and I've just got to get it done. And I'm
I was about
really,
to
really
say,
trying to take advantage of this time that I have and just make this thing work. Believe
and
me,
knock
there
it
are
out the
days when I
ballpark.
want to just say, you know what, forget it, I whatever. But I am trying to stay focused and making sure that that happens. So it'll be coming soon, prayerfully.
And believe me, T Lynn is staying on her. So we're not going to let it fall. T Lynn
Right.
stays on her about it. So, but I want to give a great shout out to those that participate and join the conversation. That's one thing we didn't say. Make sure you guys join the conversation. Shout out to Alan, one of our
Shout out to
favorite
Alan.
people. He is our favorite person and won the fan award, the B3RD Power Fan Award for
He
the
did.
Community of Champion Awards last season. So
Yes, he
why
did.
do I say that? Because the second annual awards is coming up, and guess what? The next one could be you. You could be the
Yes.
next honorary fan that gets honored during the award ceremony. And shout out to my main man, and I do mean my main man,
My
Mr.
man.
James. Thank you for joining the conversation and watching the night, boo. I so
Hey,
appreciate you.
shout out to my mama. She's on. Hey,
Yes.
ma.
Hey, Mama Wendy. Listen, yes, join the conversation in the comments. That's how we know you're present. Join the conversation, all right? We have an amazing show for you guys tonight. What you want to say, baby?
Our celebration of the month.
Go. Yes, go. I'm sorry.
So, as you know, this month is Women's Celebrating Women's History Month. And this month, we
Yes.
want to make sure that we acknowledge women in our lives and beyond that have made an impact in our lives. So, tonight, I want to shout out my mom, Wendy Cook. As you can see, she's joined us on the
Yes.
show. I am truly blessed to have a mom that is strong and encouraging, beautiful, and just smart. I mean, she's always pushed me to be better, always pushed me to dream big and think big. Now, sometimes she'll, like, Sherri, you want to do what? You doing what? Girl, she's always like, I don't know how you just keep adding to your plate. But no matter what, like, she just totally encourages me. And I'm her only child. I do have two half
Yes.
brothers with my dad, but I'm my mom's only child, and she has always just been there to guide me. And we bump heads. Don't get me wrong. Hello. Well, I think we all do, right? But the great
Yes.
thing is that we got each other, and she's always had my back. And I'm gonna tell you, she has truly thrived in everything that she's done. Everything that she's done. I've watched my mom buy her first house to us thinking that we could not have a house, or we would go see we would go see houses, right? And we would just walk through them and like wish and hope and pray. And I remember when mom bought her first house, and then and she's on house number 3 now, and it's like moving on up, right? So I
Yeah.
love her. She's just doing amazing things, and I want to celebrate my mom tonight because, of course, my nana is our rock, who is my mom's mom, and she's passed on now. She was our rock. When I say that, let me say that again. But my mom is still here, so let me give her flowers while she's still here. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do to encourage me. Thank you.
Absolutely. And so, as Sherri said, tonight we understand that May is Mother's Day, but March is Women's History Month. And we definitely wanted to take a moment to shout out our moms. So I too shout out my mama, because that's what Sherri said. Let's honor our moms tonight. I said, you're right. So I honor my mom, Lillian Gray. Oh, look, and she watch it too. Hey, baby girl, how you doing? So, but I honor my mom as well. Like, my mom is my biggest cheerleader. She holds me down. Look, between her and my husband, they take on the task of holding me down to make sure that the visions, dreams, and goals that I have get accomplished. They hold me accountable. They inspire me. And I know this is about my mom, but she inspires me. She tells me all the time, she like, I need to handle your this. Give me this. She always willing to take stuff off my plate. She always looks out for me. She's selfless. And I just so appreciate you, Mom. Like, all you've done, as I tell you all the time, I love you so much, and I appreciate everything you do. You're a hard worker. Look, she makes sure I eat, y'all. And I know y'all like, T Lynn, you don't eat. No, listen, you don't understand. Sometimes T can become so focused that she forgets to apply self-care. But my mom always makes sure that I'm applying self-care, because again, if I go down, then the things that are assigned to me to get done, the purpose that's assigned to me will not get done. And so she makes sure that I'm good, and I appreciate her. She help me take care of my kids. She watch them. She stay on top of them. Listen, that is my honey bunny. That's my honey bunny.
Yes.
And I appreciate her so much. And God knows I would be sick, devastated if anything ever happened to her.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I'm so grateful.
We're not even going to talk about that.
I know,
Shut
right?
down.
So I'm so grateful for you, for all that you do. Thank you. I can't wait for you to get better. She's recovering, guys. So definitely can't wait till you're back up and running 100%, for sure. Love you, Mom. So Sherri trying to make everybody get all teary-eyed over here, and I'm trying to keep it nice and smooth because I don't want nobody to see me doing ugly cries.
I was trying not to get mushy because I was about to go there, and I said, but
how can you not when it's your mama?
I know, I wasn't about, because I was about to get all teary-eyed and mushy, and I said, you know what? Let me not do that. But let's go on, because we have an amazing show, and mamas, y'all know we love you, but you also know that we have a show to do. So guess what? We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving.
That's for sure. Won't drop no tears. But anyway, yes, she's right. We sure do. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, listen, I know y'all missed him. He been gone for a minute, but he's back, y'all. But that's what happens when you running a business. Mr. Bill Scott is in the house giving us our power panel update for small businesses. If you own a business or got a friend or a family member to own a business, you better go and tune in on the other side of this break, okay? Because you don't want to miss what he's sharing. This is B to the third power. Take it away. Global Executive Staffing provides top-level executive staffing to federal and private sector companies globally at the most competitive price. They are experts in coordinating and expediting projects from design to development. Global Executive Staffing is a Department of Veterans Affairs, Center for Veterans, certified service-disabled veteran-owned small business. To connect with Global Executive Staffing, go to www.gestaff.com. Welcome back to B to the Third Power. Shout out to Foundation Band. Love you guys and appreciate so much all that you guys do and contribute. Can you hear me, Sherri?
I sure can.
Oh, awesome sauce. Okay, I looked like I was frozen there for a second, but we are
You
super excited. Oh, but you can still hear my voice, but that's okay. We're gonna be great anyway. We want to welcome back to the power panel tonight, Mr. Bill Scott. Hey, Bill.
Hello, ladies. How are you today? Happy New Year.
Happy
How
New
are
Year.
you?
I'm great. I'm on top of the world.
Good, good. I'm glad
Awesome
you
sauce.
are here with us tonight. We missed you.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been working.
So,
Abs-
you've been working? Well, share. Well, I know you have some gems to drop on us tonight, and tell us a little bit of what you maybe, have been up to over the last month.
Okay. So it's actually been 3 months, believe it or not, because we going into March. But
Yeah.
we global executive staffing has branched out into a new industry. We won a contract with WMATA. So we just opened up a new call center over in Lanham, Maryland. And due to COVID, we're behind a little bit. We were supposed to have 35 positions to fill, but we only have 12 for right now. But as ridership increases and goes back up, then I'll be looking for new employees. I'll be looking for people to come on board and to make sure that there's opportunities out there for a lot of people. in Prince George's County, DC, Maryland, Virginia. I take them from everywhere.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that because, COVID has definitely hit the business world really hard. So tell us what you have for us tonight.
So, entrepreneur wise, there's a lot of things that you have to look at. There's some pros and cons to a lot of things, but everything that we do in business evolves around how your state and local stuff is structured. But sometimes you have to look at the federal side of things, and you have to pay attention to what we do and how we do things. A lot of people may not know this, but Joe Biden, President Biden, we love him to be in the position that he's in, but he reversed some of the executive orders that Donald Trump put in order. One of them is reversing the border crossings. So thousands of our neighboring country in Mexico have walked across the borders and they've come back into this country. A lot of jobs are going to be snatched up. So, that you can look at it as, for those out there looking for jobs, those jobs may not necessarily be there. But for those that are trying to hire people, if you're a small business and you're trying to hire people and you're trying to find people that really want to work, the borders are back open. People are going to start showing up. The people in the Latin community are going to be out there looking for employment. A lot more of them going to be in the area now that President Biden's opened up the borders. That's on the job front for entrepreneurs. As far as wealth is concerned, the stock market has been doing good. We know this, but real estate is on fire. Okay, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to purchase a piece of property, but you got to look at it on two different angles. You can either get out here and sell some real estate, or you can go out here and buy some real estate. Either way, you're going to make some money. I got property in different cities and different states, and I got people calling me on a regular basis trying to purchase that property. I got property in Baltimore that's been boarded up for 5-10 years. But people are coming in and asking me if you want $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a piece of property that's been boarded up for 20 years. So ask yourself a question. I don't want to pay taxes on a piece of property that's been boarded up. But there's a reason why somebody's buying up all this property in these neighborhoods. So do your due diligence first and find out why they're buying up all this property before you just go sell what you have.
Right.
And that's the key to what you got to think about. Yeah, it feels good to get rid of it because you ain't doing nothing with it and it's not making you no money, but you can still use it even though it's boarded up as a tax write-off. So you have that aspect. One of the things about entrepreneurship that you need to know, and as business is concerned, in December's episode of Money Magazine, you can Google it online. There was a December 3rd issue called Good Money. And it talked about what your real net worth is. What is your real net worth? That's very important in business today and in growing your business. The banks aren't going to loan you any money if your net worth is negative. And a lot of times the misconception on net worth is you have to take your assets and subtract them by your liabilities. And whatever the difference is, that's what your net worth is. But the reality is that when you do your net worth, a lot of times they take your house into that factor. So you got a $350,000 house note, and you got another $150,000 worth of assets. They take that $350,000 as a liability because you still have a note on that too. And then they take that and they wipe out that 350 on both sides. So really your net worth out of 500,000 is only 150,000. That's not how it's supposed to work. So when you walk into a bank, you got to be able to tell the bank what your real net worth is worth. That's a real good article that people should know and that you should think about. You know, I normally tell entrepreneurs that, you know, in growing your business, there's things you got to do. And I remember, I believe it was back in either late November, early December, Ethel was on, and we were talking about stock. We talked about CVS. We talked about Moderna. We talked about Pfizer. And we talked about Peloton. So back when we had these conversations, CVS stock was at, I believe it was at $39 to $40 a share. 2 months later, it's at $69.28 today. Moderna stock, if you remember, wasn't even out. It was barely on the street yet, but it wasn't approved by the FDA. So the Moderna stock was only at $40 a share 2-3 months ago. Today, it closed at $157.40. So if you bought $1,000 worth of Moderna stock at $40 a share, you're looking at maybe 300 shares, a little over 300 shares, and it went up $115 a share. That's a nice chunk of change you just made. You know, Pfizer stock is at $33.69, but the Pfizer vaccine hasn't taken off like Moderna has. I can't hear you, Sherri.
Sorry. I was wondering about that because I actually went in and bought Pfizer. And it didn't do anything. So I pulled it out and I bought Peloton, but Peloton didn't move for a few weeks. It didn't move. It didn't do anything. So, and I pulled it out and I was just thinking on Friday, I was like, let me go back and check into Peloton and see what I need to do, because I know that Peloton, like Miss Ethel was saying, you know, they have this huge deal now with Beyonce. So I'm thinking that, oh, okay, it's going to pick up. Like I need to go ahead and purchase that one.
So do you remember what you pulled out at?
For Peloton, I think I pulled out at like 47, something like that.
About a little less than $50 a share, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It closed today at $123.81.
Yeah. See, I missed out.
Yeah. So I'm not a big stocks person. Okay. Yeah. That's Miss Ethel can talk to you about that. I'm not big into the stock market unless I think something's going to really take off. My focus is real estate. I know more about real estate and making money that way than I do stocks, but I know when certain stocks are going to take off, and sometimes you got to wait for it to jump. A lot of people are not getting the Pfizer getting the Pfizer vaccine yet, but Moderna's out there. They're out there and they're pushing it.
What about Johnson & Johnson though? I'm gonna have to ask.
That's what I was about to say. Now that the Johnson & Johnson stock has rolled out, it may be good to go out and look at what their stock shares are, because people who are skeptical about getting the vaccine, they would rather take one shot than to take two. That's number one. But you got to look at the bigger picture. The Johnson & Johnson shot is only 65% effective.
So you have to weigh your goods and your bads here.
Weigh your goods and your bads.
Yeah. I tell you, it's definitely a juggle, and I'm just praying that one these shots and vaccinations work. Period, and hopefully no major side effects from them. But so I'm so glad to hear of everything you have going on. I see T is having some connection issues, but we're going to continue to move on with the show.
Good,
and is there
good.
one last gem that you would share with us before we go ahead and go to the next segment?
So, I always like to leave with a quote for our young entrepreneurs out there. And so there were two quotes that I ran across at the end of last week that stuck out with me. You had mentioned you went down to North Carolina to see your child. And I got back today from Arkansas because my son's down at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Okay.
And so he's a freshman down there. And so, two things that stuck with me that I said to him. Phil Knight made a quote, play by the rules, but be ferocious.
Okay.
And the other one was by Richard Branson. Business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming.
Okay.
So
I like that.
Don't think about the opportunities that you have missed. Don't think about the opportunity that passed you by. Just think about the opportunities that are coming your way and prepare your business and yourself and your mind, your body, and your spirit to be ready to jump on that bus when that opportunity comes down the road.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. And you know what? We're going to expand on that just a little bit more. I'm really sure with my next guest. Our next guest is Dr. Edward Womack, and he will talk to us about strategies on optimizing your rebound from a setback. So hopefully you'll stick around for that interview. And we're going to go to a commercial, and we will be right back.
All righty. Thank you.
Global Executive Staffing provides top-level executive staffing to federal and private sector companies globally at the most competitive price. They are experts in coordinating and expediting projects from design to development. Global Executive Staffing is a Department of Veterans Affairs, Center for Veterans, certified service-disabled veteran-owned small business. To connect with Global Executive Staffing, go to www.gestaff.com.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to B3RD Power, where we are being intentional, bridging gaps, and building communities. As you can see, I'm here alone because my girl T. Lynn is having connection issues. Boy, we can't depend on this Wi-Fi thing, can we? But I want to go ahead and continue on with the show. Our guest is Dr. Ed Womack. He is the author of Use What's Left, 7 Strategies to Optimize Your Rebound from a Setback. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation. Dr. Ed, are you there?
Absolutely, absolutely. What's going on, Quay?
I'm doing well. So good to see you outside of the clubhouse.
Actually being able to see one another. How about that?
Exactly. So as you all hear, I met Dr. Ed on the clubhouse. Of course, it's an exclusive clubhouse because you have to have an invite to be there. And I'm so glad to be there where I met Dr. Ed. Dr. Ed, can you tell us a little bit more about you?
So a little bit about me. Obviously, I am a aspiring life changer in the space of serving recovering addicts and returning citizens, and pretty much have a heart for anybody that's in the process of actually coming back from a setback. But in a nutshell, the reason that I am so driven to that is because of my own story, which had me experience some significant peaks and valleys in my life. Because I hate to say it, but I ain't always been this good looking and this suave and debonair, but because I done tore up some stuff. And in all seriousness, though, no, seriously, I've actually made some tremendous mistakes. I mean, and I won't go into great detail about everything, but 17 years ago, your man was tore up from the flow up, broke, busted, and disgusted, and have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of because I was strung out on crack cocaine, out of my mind, and just otherwise like, phew, man, I don't even want to be here for real. And but by the get to a place where I was like, okay, this cannot possibly be what God had in store for me. And so when I got to that point of enough, he sat me down in Marietta Square in Atlanta or in Georgia, and I was able to, for a moment, have a moment of clarity. And you know how sometimes people see ants as a nuisance. They see ants as something they need to get rid of or something they need to exterminate. But on that fateful day, I was sitting in the square and I was glancing down and just kind of checking out them, what I call them damn ants. And what I realized as I was checking out them damn ants is that, they out here putting their life at risk, but they doing what they got to do, carrying more than double, 4 times, 5 times their weight just to get the mission accomplished. And at that moment, I was at such a low point in my life. I was like, man, I don't even feel worthy of so much as an ant. But by the grace of God, them damn ants made me make a decision that day that kind of turned my life around. And so I literally got up out of that square, went and got the help that I needed to get me back on my feet so that my setback wouldn't be the end of my story. And so at that point during my recovery, I really got to peel back the layers of who I really was. I got to find who I really was. I got to begin to walk into who I was. And that's when the switch came on that, okay, the only reason you quit using crack cocaine, the only reason you ain't dead or in jail is because the big fella got something for you to do. And
yes.
So a little bit about me. And that's how actually it's not how Use What's Left was birthed. My first book, which wasn't even supposed to be a book, Back from Broken, was birthed. And then I wrote the sequel or the follow-up book, the one we chopping it up on tonight, Use What's Left, which entails my amazing, most coveted creation by download from the Father called the R.E.B.O.U.N methodology. So that's just a little bit about me.
I'm so glad you don't look like what you've been through. Oof. And I'm so glad that them damn ants changed They changed your life. Yes, I'm so glad. So I was reading through the book, and yes, I do have the book. Make sure that you go get your copy. It's Use What's Left, 7 Strategies to Optimize Your Rebound from Setback by Dr. Ed Womack. And I see in here the chapter, I'm past this one. I'm actually on the other one, but I want to, since we were talking about it, reinventing yourself. Some of the processes that you put down were: admit there's a problem, peel back the layers, let your guard down, prayer and meditation affirmations. Can you tell us just a little bit in our last few minutes more about letting your guard down?
Woo, you would pick the toughest one out of all of the steps. Absolutely. So, and especially for someone that has gone through any type of trauma, any type of situation that has caused them to kind of distrust, it's very difficult to actually make oneself vulnerable enough, first of all, with self, secondly, to be vulnerable with anyone else. And so when I talk about the term of letting your guard down, especially for men, which is really my primary focus amongst recovering addicts and returning citizens, because we have this macho built into our DNA. And the biggest thing that we typically are guarding is what other people are thinking about us, what other people are saying about us. And what I had to realize was, after all of the competitive years of athletics, after being in the Marine Corps, protecting my country, and just fight, what I had to realize was the most powerful thing that could possibly happen is I had to let go, let God, and let my guard down, because I was so worried about what other people were saying, what other people might say, how they might perceive me. And it's a very common thing. So it's not something, if you happen to be sitting out there and you like, I don't know if I want to let people know what's going on with me. Well, here's the hit. If you don't let people know, you can't get the help that you need. And while
if you don't let people know, you can't grow.
If you
I
don't
say
let
that
them
all
know,
the
you
time.
can't grow, it's a really easy term, but it's so hard. And I get it, because I walked that path. I was like, man, when I was sitting in that square, I mean, people was walking past me, avoiding me, wouldn't talk to me. I mean, literally turning their nose up. And I'm like, and I couldn't blame them, because a brother was kind of rank back in them days. So I couldn't blame them for turning their nose up. But I still had to get to a point where I could say, you know what? First of all, let me look me in the eye and be 100% honest. And then let me do something about this and get the real help that I need. So I had to let my guard down, and it was difficult. It was very difficult.
Yes, I can imagine. So, I can imagine how guarded you must have been, coming off of the addiction and everything. I know that there's another chapter. I'm gonna go towards the end now. In optimize opportunities. You had mentioned about making the choice between fear and allowing you could either run or you could face everything and rise. I know a lot of people get in that place of being stuck, right? They don't know whether to run. They call it what? Flight or fight, right? Some people don't know whether to run or they don't know whether to rise. So tell us some of the steps that you took to rise.
So, now you got to one of my favorite ones. Good choice. Good choice on that.
Good choice.
So fear, a lot of times, is what cripples most people, whether you've been through a setback or not, whether you've been caught up in drug addiction, whether you were a gambleraholic, a womanizer, whatever the case may be. A lot of times you're about to start a new business. Fear will creep into the picture. And it was during my therapy that I had one of my amazing people working with me to offer up actually a choice between how I perceived fear. And Dr. Wayne Dyer said, when you change the way that you look at things, the way things that you look at will change. And so when he offered this comparison to me, I was like, I know y'all probably like, well, what was the comparison? Okay, all right, I will quit playing. So the comparison was, sometimes we hear the acronym of fear being false evidence appearing real.
I love this.
Very common, you know.
I love this.
Then he offered me the alternative, because again, when you change the way that you look at things, the things you look at change. And so he offered up the alternative option of face everything and rise.
That's right.
No matter what's going on, no matter how much fear and intimidation and frustration you may have built up inside of you, you got two options. You can allow that little voice on this side that's talking about that false evidence that is not real, or you can opt in to the premise of, I'm going to face everything and rise. And so when I was presented with that alternative, I was like, if I'm going to be able to get to that place where I understand that success is the direct result of preparation meeting opportunity, all the hell I went through, all the hell you went through, all the hell the people around you that have been stuck in some sort of trauma, it's all been preparation for such a time as this.
Come on now.
And so when you can get to that place where you like, okay, yes, this happened. Yes, that happened. Some of it was my fault. Some of it wasn't. But when you get to that place where you like, no, I don't know if I want to do it, and you stuck between false evidence appearing real and the choice to face everything and rise, I sure hope that you make the alternative choice and realize that you were uniquely and wonderfully made so that you could be the solution to somebody's situation. So that's why I go around the country these days, pouring into recovering addicts, returning citizens, and being able to help them understand, you know what, your past is just that. That is not the end of the story. That was merely a chapter. So tell you what, why don't you try and use what's left? Let's rebound, score, and win again.
Listen, Dr. Ed, I could talk to you for another hour, okay? Because you are talking my language, indeed, indeed. I love that acronym, face everything every day and rise. Face every day and rise, or face everything and rise?
Face everything and rise.
Everything. But you know, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I will be using that one.
You're more than welcome. Please do. Please do.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad you were able to join us. Can you tell us how people can get in contact with you?
Absolutely. I actually put it right now, my IG is at Ed Womack Speaks. And so that's really the best way to catch me, because I'm so connected with Clubhouse right now, which, by the way, we have a show tonight. And as soon as I leave here,
and I will be there.
We pushed the showtime behind, and I want to tell you and Queen T. Lynn, thank you so much for this opportunity. And it was so important. I was like, yo, what? We're going to push the show start time back, because I don't want to miss too much of it. And I didn't want them to miss me. So I'm like, well, wait a minute. Tell you what, we're going to compromise. We're going to push this thing back. So as soon as we leave here, if you are on Clubhouse, pop on over to the Coming Back from Setback Room. We're going to continue to chop it up on the same vein as.
Oh, you know I'll be there.
Awesome. Absolutely. I know this.
You know I'll be there. I'm looking forward to it. And for those of you that don't have an invite to Clubhouse, but you have to have an Apple phone, hit your girl up. I might have some invites for you. I might have some invites for you.
Right.
Because it's exclusive, right, Dr. Ed?
It's exclusive. It's exclusive. It's exclusive at the moment. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. See, Lynn is in there with us. It's an exclusive. You can't, other people can't get on. But it has been a pleasure having you on the show. I hope that you come back and join us sometime, so we can, of course, talk more about the book and find out what you're into. And I just love the motivation. All of our folks, we definitely need to keep encouraging one another to press through and face everything and rise. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for this opportunity. And if I could, real quick, I so love the things that this show stands for. And I'd be remiss if I didn't leave you with this. Good, better, best. We can't let it rest until our good is our better and our better is our best. And if you tune in to Be to the Third Party every single week, boy, stop. We might just see you at the top. because the bottom's entirely too crowded. Appreciate y'all so
Oh,
much.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Well, you have it straight from Dr. Ed, rebounding from a setback. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial, and we will be right back.
Global Executive Staffing provides top-level executive staffing to federal and private sector companies globally at the most competitive price. They are experts in coordinating and expediting projects from design to development. Global Executive Staffing is a Department of Veterans Affairs, Center for Veterans, certified service-disabled veteran-owned small business. To connect with Global Executive Staffing, go to www.gestaff.com.
Hello, and welcome back to B3RD Power. Oh my goodness, what an amazing interview. What an amazing show. We had Mr. Bill Scott come on and talk to us about entrepreneurship, and we even dropped a little bit about stocks in there, y'all. Now, we're not no stock experts. Let me go ahead and throw that out there. We're not the stock experts, but we did have a little stock conversation. And then we had an awesome conversation with Dr. Ed Womack, the author of Rebound from Setback. And let me just throw this acronym out there. I told y'all I'm going to use this now often. Face everything and rise. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to face everything and rise every day. Okay? Because every day you should be learning something new. Don't I say that all the time? Okay? Every day you should be learning something new. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. My girl T. Lynn is still having connection issues, but I want to remind you that if you're interested in being a guest on B3RD Power, where we are being intentional, bridging gaps, and building communities, make sure that you send us an email at b3rdpower@gmail.com. That's b3rd@gmail.power@gmail.com. Today, I'm reading her message. But yeah, if you want to be a guest on the show, make sure you do that. Also, don't forget that September is coming. We're going to have our second annual B3RD Power Community of Champion Awards. We are always looking for game changers out there in the community, leaders in the community. If that's you, make sure you get in touch with us. And make sure that you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe today. Hit the bell so that you can get the notifications when we go live, baby. We love what we do, and we love to see you. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel today. That's B3RD Power. Okay? So, well, I guess I'm stuck out here all by my lonesome, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the show for this evening because it is 8 o'clock on the dot. And as you heard, I've got to get in Dr. Ed's clubhouse tonight, y'all, because we have a conversation to have on set coming back from a setback. And I'm ready. As you can see, I'm fired up. I love the clubhouse. All right, so I will see you guys soon. And remember, like my girl T. Lynn says, today is a great day to make a difference in the lives of those around you. Be that leader you want to see. All right, you all have an amazing week, and I'll see you next Monday.